Welcome to Romance Rex, where book besties explore the world of romance novels and encourage you to expand your TBR. Join us as we dive into the hottest releases and hidden gems of the genre. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Romance Rex Pod. Hi, guys. I'm so excited. But it's me. It's Devaney. It's Dev. Hi.
Hey.
Hi. Oh,
no, she doesn't. She's.
I didn't know. Hi, I'm Chelsea.
No, Chelsea, you're actually fine. I'm just so excited. I have like excitement aggression, kind of like cute aggression, but like excitement. I'm so excited right now. I didn't finish what I was saying, but hi guys, it's me, it's Dev. As you can tell, I'm excited because Chelsea's here. But yeah, I am currently reading Bull Moon Rising by Ruby Dixon.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I'm also excited. I am currently reading an arc of The Crown Prophecy by Meg Acuna. This is her first novel, so we're really excited about her and for her. And I'm listening to Dark Restraint by Katie Roberts.
So excited.
I'm Chelsea, and I am currently reading Reckless by Elsie Silver. I'm almost done. Yeah, I know. Very good. Very, very good. I'm not the biggest lover on accidental pregnancy or like surprise pregnancy, but this one slaps. So I am 100%
so
here
hard.
For it. So hard.
It slaps so hard. Okay. I loved it.
She doesn't miss though. So I knew if anyone could make me a believer, it would be her. So
yeah. Yes. Well, Dev, you're biased. You love that trope. So
it's my favorite. I eat it up. I eat it up every time. Yeah. But of course, guys, as you can tell, we have the greatest with us, Chelsea Curto, who I'm so excited to have on the pod to talk about all things romance and sports and just what it's like being an author, because girl, you did that. Okay. You're doing it multiple times actually.
Well, I know. And we're coming up on number 10, which is wild.
That's psychotic. We love it. Yeah. We love being here for this. Yeah. So this is a special episode, guys. Thanks for tuning in with us. We've got some good conversation planned. We're going to ask Chelsea some questions. Also might play our this or that game. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, Chelsea, is there anything you want to like mention real quick before we dive into this? Do you want to talk about anything? Anything coming, maybe?
So I have a book coming out October 17th called Power Play. It's a hockey romance, Grumpy Sunshine, and I'll talk more about it later when we talk about Face Off. But that book is coming October 17th. And then hopefully one more book coming out this year, but we'll see on that. Little
you are on top
holiday
of it.
Novella.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, before Dev gets too excited and starts going down a rabbit hole, we do have some quotes that we planned to share as we do at the beginning of every episode.
Oh, I love this.
Don't mind this. So I do have to say before I give these quotes, when we started this podcast we started recording in March, our first episodes. One of her this year. Don't mind Dev.
6 months ago.
Life. I don't know what timeline I'm on, but please continue.
It's okay. It's okay. I've got you. That's why I'm here. But from the very beginning, she's been plugging your books, and it's like really before I dove into indie authors and like really understood how to find indie authors. So I finally just went for it. I'm so excited because we've been hearing about you on the pod since its inception, and this is kind of like a full circle moment.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here, and I am an open book. I will talk about anything and everything. So
we'll take you up on that.
I don't keep.
Yeah. Good.
I'm like, someone wants to know something. Here's a 6-book series that I've plotted out that no one may ever see, but let's just talk about it anyway.
Awesome, and we love it. And we love that.
Okay, so I decided on 2 quotes because I just could not decide. And I decided to stay on theme. So I'm going with 2 quotes from Face Off. So my first one, I'll do the serious one first.
Oh, okay.
I tear up every time I read this.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me guess. Let me guess which one it is.
Maybe not.
It's something Maverick probably said.
It's like an internal monologue of his.
Okay, I'm gonna go with is it when he's talking about not having a home?
No, this is probably not one. I don't think you necessarily, it's not typical.
Okay. Ooh,
I don't think. It hits me then, right near center ice in front of 20,000 people. A thought I've been having more and more lately these last few weeks, but becomes solidified right now. This woman is fucking incredible, special, changing the future of the sport and inspiring girls and women everywhere, all while wearing ribbons and mascara. I'm just like,
I know. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah,
my feminist heart just.
And I love that because I feel like in recent. So I will preface this: I'm a very big sports fan. I'm mostly NBA. I grew up on watching NBA, but I love all sports. But mostly the NBA and in recent years the WNBA. And I love that we've kind of seen this acceptance of like women athletes who have the nails, have the makeup, who come with their hair done and like look pretty, but that doesn't make them like less of an athlete. It's kind of like they can coexist as a woman and an athlete. And I like that men, especially male athletes, are recognizing this as well. Mm-hmm. And I think Maverick, I think that was really important to include because, he is like one of the greatest in his sport, fictional world, obviously. And so like for that kind of person to like recognize the impact that a woman would have on other people, I think it was really important for me to include that. So not to get all deep right off the bat. But.
No, I did it. I started it. It's fine.
Is he one better on the couch? Yeah. But is he like really just like respect her and admire her 100%?
Oh, he's goals. He is absolute goals.
Both worlds.
Yes. Love him.
And really quick, my fun one. I just adore this. A toast. Maven lifts her glass in the air. We all follow suit and she smiles. To the good men with good dicks who treat us right. And to the good dicks out there who haven't found their way to us yet. May they hurry up and get here so everyone is happy and satisfied. I love that twist on the quote. Yeah. Cheers.
And we will see more of that friend.
Yay! Yeah, more we love their dynamic.
Yeah, see more good dicks.
Good dicks, yeah.
Yes, perfect.
Except in Power Play, Lexi's the one saying like I don't know, more orgasms or something like that. So,
I love that.
Empowerment, right?
Can't wait for Lexi. Yeah. Okay, so this quote is also from Maverick. More of an internal monologue, but like when I tell you I was on my knees for it, especially the way it's written, because you just see. Anyway, let me get into it. Okay. Maybe we do, Red, and one day I'll tell you all about it. I love you, I think, when we head to the locker room. I love you, I think, when we celebrate her goal in the first period. I love you, I think, when we win the game and she jumps in my arms. I love you, I think, when she rests her head on my shoulder in the hotel elevator after we get back from dropping Alan off in Lansing. I love you, I love you, I love you, I want to scream. When she kisses my chest before we fall asleep, I think she loves me too.
That's the best line right there. I think she loves me too.
Yeah.
I love that one.
That I had to include that part because it's like, and knowing a little bit of Maverick's story, I think that is the most important part because it's like he wants that love. So him seeing it and feeling it and believing it. Okay. And then I do have another word for you. This is a sneaky one because when I tell you, the dynamic here, this has nothing to do with Emmy or Maverick, but it's in Face Off.
Okay.
Okay. Riley looks up from his video game controller. A date? He asks. With who? A guy she met at her Pilates class. She didn't seem too excited about it, though. I add when his face falls, and Piper and I exchange a look. Oh. Riley glances back at the TV. Good for her. If I do not get Riley and Grant and a white shoes...
So, okay.
You'll write it yourself. I will write it myself. I'll be putting up fanfic.
I messaged my friends and I was like, okay, but what if? However, I will say that the way that the coach's book is plotted, I think Grant will be better suited off with somebody else with a little bit of a forbidden romance that will be a little bit more.
Huh.
And Riley and Lexi, there will not be a white shoes. Not this time. Not this. Please write it if you would like to. Like the scene from Silver Flames that did not get published with out there somewhere, and everyone. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I'll make like a little like newsletter, like surprise,
Yes.
here's a little
Yes.
And we
in
don't
the
know if it's a
alternate
dream or
universe.
not. It's just like
Yeah, it just happens, you know. But
Yeah.
I know he's down bad, so I just love that little. And there's a couple of scenes like that where, like, I'm thinking about the other characters and like their potential and where their stories are gonna go. So I love that. I love that. And that little scene just
The club scene with
oh yeah.
Piper and Liam
Piper
was
and Liam.
not accidental.
Oh,
And
it's
he
so
in Power Play in one of the early chapters, he's his internal monologue is talking about something, and he's like thinking about that night in Canada. And nothing happens like with them. It's just literally like they go out and like get ice cream or whatever, and he talks about how he hasn't laughed that much and how he stayed and made sure she didn't throw up in her bed. He like sat there for an hour while she was asleep, and then he was like, it was the best night of the whole season, you know. So it was something like that. Yeah. So a little bit of, he's like she was giggling and laughing and falling all over the place, and from anyone else like it would have been unbearable, but from her it was cute, like that sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
It gives me,
I'm
gives me
obsessed.
flashbacks
I'm
to the beginning of my
obsessed.
relationship with my husband.
Oh, so cute. Not flashbacks. But yeah, I love them. I love the little Easter eggs for like our next favorite couples.
Oh yeah,
Basically.
there's nothing. So when I wrote the Love Through a Lens series, which starts with Camera Chemistry, which is a novella, there were zero plans to make it a series. It was just going to be the novella, and that was going to be it. And then I started getting messages about like, oh, well, what about Lacey and Sean? I was like, okay, I guess I'll write it, and I wrote it. And then someone was like, oh, wait, Dallas and Maven, were they flirting? I'm like, no, they weren't flirting. But I'm like, oh, well, maybe now they should be
Maybe
flirting.
they were.
And so like I didn't plan to like write the single dad and then like write his daughter like 5 years later and like time jump 8 years and be like, don't worry, everyone's old enough. So like nothing about that was intentional, and like I had to like start weaving it together as I went. However, everything after well, there is some I did drop something behind the camera that was intentional, but everything from Face Off on is very intentional with the Easter eggs for things that are going to come. Like I feel like when I'm writing it, I'm like, I wonder if he's going to pick up on this.
I picked up on the ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I can tell
because
the side characters are so rich. I am just as invested in them as your main characters, and I live for that because
I don't want them to be like. I don't want them to be like too obviously like you're like, okay, well, these two are obviously going to end up together, but I don't want to take away from like the main couple, but like I want it to be just enough where literally people were messaging me. They're like, oh my God, please tell me Piper and Liam are a thing. And I'm like, I did it just enough where people were like, okay, wait a second. Not like, oh my God, we know it's going to be Piper and Liam, but it was like, okay, but now I need to know more. So it's like trying to find that balance between not being like, oh, this person, this person, this person. With hockey teams, it's difficult because there are a lot of bodies on the team. And so I'm trying to be cognizant. I'm like, don't give it all away, reel it back a little bit. It's going to start to come together. But it's really fun to like, nothing is accidental. So
yeah, I think you're doing a great job. Like it doesn't seem very overt, but it's definitely enough to like whet my appetite to see more interactions of those people. So yeah, I think you're finding that balance really well for sure.
Good. Thank you. That was my goal.
Yay. All right. So, first question of the night.
Let's go. Let's hear it. I'm ready.
What made you decide to first write and publish a book? Like, what was the driving force behind that decision?
So I am a flight attendant, and during COVID, I took a leave of absence because nobody really knew what was going on with our job and if we were going to have a job and everything like that. And so I took a 3 months leave and then a 6 month leave. And I am a very go person. I don't like to sit still. I can't sit still. And so that was the first time truly in my life where I was like, what do I do? Like, what am I supposed to do? And like, I bought a Switch. I was playing like Animal Crossing and like, you know, that sort of thing. And then so I read Harry Potter when I was a kid, like everybody else. And then as I got older, I really read a lot of fan fiction, and that sort of thing. And then like when COVID happened, I like was bored and had nothing to do. So I'm like, I guess I'll read some more fan fiction. So I read some fan fiction, and then I actually picked up a couple YA books. I picked up the Simon Snow series by Rainbow Roll, Simon and Baz. I read that series and I loved it. And then I read, I think I read Red, White, and Royal Blue right after that. And then I picked up an Emily Henry book, and that was just it. It was just game over. And so when I was reading, I've always had a very creative mind. Like I'm not math, I'm not science. I'm very much just like if you give me a situation, like if I am just watching something somewhere, I can go, like I can create a whole book, a whole plot in 10 seconds. And so I've always had a very overactive imagination and a brain that is very overactive. And so I'm like, I guess I'll try to write a book. And I did. And there's so much I wish I could have done different then, but I'm also grateful for how everything's gone because I don't know if I would still be writing if things went different when, you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
I would change. I'm grateful for the way everything is gone. And so, yeah, I wrote book 1 and book 2. And honestly, when I wrote Camera Chemistry, I almost just stopped writing because I felt like I don't know. I just really didn't feel like I don't feel like I had figured it out yet. And I really admire the authors who figure it out on their first book because that was not me. But like by book 4, I was like, and that did well comparatively. And then I wrote, what did I write next? I have to look at my books over here. And I did Common Camera, and that did really well. And that was honestly like the turning point for me from a writing standpoint. And then obviously Face Off has been just beyond my wildest dreams of how it had done. And it's so funny. Like I posted on Threads, like I don't go on Goodreads. I don't look at Goodreads. Like that's not my space. That's a reader space. And looking at Goodreads just, will derail anything and everything. I will look at other books and other reviews, which I found to be helpful. Like I look at other like hockey romances, like 1-star reviews and 5-star reviews. I'm like, okay, so they didn't like that, so to try to find like, without looking at my own, cause I would probably cry. But someone like tagged me on like a Goodreads like thing so I could see the star rating. And I was like, oh my God, like it has over 10,000 reviews. And then I went and looked at my debut Goodreads to like Face Off Goodreads. And it's mind blowing. So to see that in 2 years it's wild. So there's days when I'm like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. But then there are a lot of days where I'm like, I feel very lucky that this is what I get to do. And then I meet people and talk to people and, I will never be on like an Emily Henry level or anything like that. But knowing that like one person,
you don't know that.
True.
I don't recall you being a seer, Chelsea. Okay, so you don't know what's coming.
That is very true. However, if just like one person, tells me that they liked my book, they connected with my book, etc., it just makes me feel very, just very lucky. So yeah, that was a really cheesy and drawn out answer, but if you had told me in August 2022 is when I published my first book that I would publish 10, I would say there's no way. Here we are.
In 2 years.
I can't even imagine. Right. Yeah. The timeline is wild.
The brain doesn't stop. And I also am a runner. And the only time my brain will not think of anything writing related is when I'm running. But that is also when I come up with some of my best ideas, because that's when my mind is most like clear. Because I feel like when I sit in front of a computer, I feel so pressured sometimes to like get certain words or like write a certain scene. But like when I'm running, like if I bring my phone with me, I will literally stop my run and write out a sentence. Or when I get home, I like tell my boyfriend, like, nope, don't talk to me. Hold on. I need to write this down. It's just a different, environment, different change of pace. And I'm like, oh, I really like that. I have like a fresh, open mind. It's where all the ideas come to me.
I love it.
I love that.
Speaking of your ideas, so I've listened to a couple of your other interviews before, but I've heard you talk about how you just have this big board full of your future projects. Mm-hmm. And I know you've posted about your planned future projects, which are a lot and very exciting. Mm-hmm. But what is that process like for you? Is it like you get an idea and you throw it up there? Is it more like I'm going to sit and plan this all out and then do it? Or is it a little bit of everything? Like, how do you decide where your stories are going to go? What's that process like for you?
So, I don't, I am not really a planner. We call it like plotter or pantser. I am a pantser. Mm-hmm. I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. I will say with Power Play, I plotted out what each chapter kind of I wanted to do. And it made writing a whole lot easier. But I had the idea for Face Off, and I was in the middle of another series, and I was like, I have to write this book. And like, I know, like, and like, I want to say this with a caveat. I understand that like I have more Goodreads reviews that like authors dream about, but in the same sense, I have the number of Goodreads reviews I have is like tiny compared to what other indie, you know what I mean? So it's all comparative.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so like, I don't consider myself a well enough established author in the sense of like, my books don't hit number one in the Kindle store, that sort of thing. You know, I don't have that huge dedicated fan base yet. I will say yet. I feel like in the last couple months since Face Off, it's definitely changed. So like I knew it was risky to like kind of deviate from what people were like expecting from what I had been doing, but I was like, I have to write it. So I wrote it. And now I just am in this hockey world, and we're going to be there for a while. But with my, like I said, with my brain, I can't focus on one thing. So I'm honestly like right now I'm working on like 4 different projects because that's just how I work best. Because if I sit down and feel like I have to write just one thing, I feel like it's just not going to happen. So if I'm like 1,000 words on this one, 1,000 words here, 1,000, and then like eventually they all add up, you know, it's not like I had to just sit down and write like 5,000 words for this one thing. I don't know if I could do it because I feel like the wheels are always going, which is not as fun as it sounds because I'm like writing this. I'm like, okay, but what about, I'm like looking over here. I'm like, what about that? So, you know, if I have an idea, I kind of have like a Google Doc of like all the ideas that are in my head. And so next year, 2025, we're going to jump around a little bit. But, you know, because I feel like romance is such a big genre that like not everyone likes sports romances. Not everyone likes cowboy romances. Not everyone likes this. Not everyone likes that. So like I know people who like my books and who have read my books will keep reading my books, but I also want to like keep finding new readers. And like a lot of people who found Face Off as their first book for me have gone back and read my other books, which are sports romances. But I'm like, well, what if I want to do a cowboy romance because that's popular right now? And I've had this idea forever in my head. So I'm like, we have to, I don't know, like I would rather like deviate and write what I'm kind of like feeling and enjoy it and then not be excited about what I'm working on, if that makes sense. So,
no, you can tell when an author isn't excited to write something. So
and like Face Off, I am, this is a book I'm most proud of. I love this book so much. And like when I was writing it, I knew it was going to be special. And I haven't really felt that way about my other books. I've been proud of them, but like writing this one, I'm like, this is going to be special. And I know, and I didn't want to write it because you see a lot of authors who will like write something because it's like the thing to write. And you know, that's fine. Like we have to make money and like hockey romance is popular. Write a hockey romance. Awesome. Like good for you. Go for it. But this was like a story that like I wanted to tell and I workshopped it a lot and I'm like, well, how do I pull it off? And I'm like, the only way I could pull it off really was like hockey. And I'm like, we're going to go for it. We're going to do it. And I did. And I have zero regrets with that. So we skipped around a little bit, but it was worth it, I think.
I agree.
I think so. Yeah. Maverick and Emmy have some of the best banter of all, like, and I've read all your books, so I understand the banter between your characters. And that's one of my favorite things, just seeing how they play off of each other. But there was just something about these two that just like blew my mind. Like, it was just, I don't know. Yeah. So it was, you did it. You really did it.
Thank you.
So many highlights.
Exactly. Right. Oh my gosh. The Kindle highlights are crazy.
Yeah.
And all right.
I love
so yes, I do. I mean, we see that you have a lot of different things slated, right? You're jumping around, you're starting different projects, you're working. But can you tell us maybe a couple of the stories you have planned? And also, I think Jordan is very interested in this dark romance because she's a dark romance girly.
Yes.
So if you can give us little crumbs.
So I fully intended to have a Halloween romance out in October, but from Face Off to Power Play. And I also released Off Camera in there. There's just has not been enough time. I feel very fortunate that I don't have to fly. Like flying schedule, I really only work like 8 to 12 days a month. So I feel very fortunate that when I'm not flying, writing is my full-time job. However, it is hard to write a book, no matter if I'm in front of a computer 9 to 5 or so it's hard to write a book. However, so I fully intend to get this dark romance out in time for Halloween. It's not going to happen. However, it's not a Halloween. I mean, it kind of is a Halloween. So I am born and raised in Florida, and I've been going to Halloween Horror Nights for years. And a couple of years ago, I'm a pass holder at Universal, where Halloween Horror Nights takes place. And if you're not familiar with Halloween Horror Nights, it's like the whole theme park. They have haunted houses, they have scare zones. It's very like they do haunted houses based on like they did like Chucky and like Quiet Place and The Last of Us and Stranger Things. So it's basically just the whole park turns into like a scary time. So a couple years ago in the pass holder page, like on Facebook, someone wrote, I just want to shout out the Michael Myers and the Halloween house at like 7 p.m. So you like follow like a line in the house. So like, there's people and like, it's very obvious where the line goes, because people jump out and scare you. Uh-huh. And she said, I want to thank the Michael Myers. I accidentally veered off course in the haunted house. And I did the haunted house. It is easy to get confused at this part because after I read that, when we went in the house, I'm like, I can see. So she went straight and she was supposed to go right. And so the Michael Myers, who was behind there, who's supposed to jump out and scare her, like guided her back. So she's like, I just want to thank the Michael Myers for guiding me back into the line. And I saw that. I'm like, it's a romance book. It's gotta be a romance
book. That's clearly a meet cute.
So, a novella where they meet in a haunted house and he is Michael Myers, or I don't know if I can use Michael Myers, but he is a masked man with a knife, and they rendezvous and he is a ex serial killer, but like kind of like Butcher and Blackbird, where like getting rid of bad people, not like, he's not like he's getting rid of the bad people in the world, not like he's, so it's like good.
Not just offing everybody. Yeah.
Not like
vigilante, if you will.
Yeah. No anger issues. It's like these people are like terrible. Yeah. So then he like kind of becomes obsessed with her and
as you do.
As you do. So that was
we'll wait for that.
The Halloween Horror Nights inspired one. And when I was there at Halloween Horror Nights, and when I was there last year, like we were like stopped because the house like backs up and you're just like standing there and they'll keep popping out and scaring you. And like this guy had like jumped out like 4 times. And so I just like looked at him and I like waved and he waved back. And like, yeah, there you go. There's a meet cute in a haunted house. So that is,
I'm going to eat it up.
Yeah. It's going to be really short. It's going to be not a lot of plot, just, a little good time.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. You're great at writing plot and not plot.
Dark rom-com. I figure why not?
I'll take 14 of them. Yep.
Yeah, why not? Mm-hmm. That's one thing. I'll look over on my board. Christmas one this year is involving a half marathon and a runner and a doctor at the finish line. And it's just kind of cutesy and spicy and it's short and it's based off of a reel from the Boston Marathon this year where a girl was crossing the finish line and she paired it to 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton or whatever. And she's like about to collapse and the doctor just comes and like catches her. And I commented, I was like, me, a romance author watching this. And I got like 70,000 likes, the comment. And I'm like,
okay, have to.
Well, we're going to write it.
You have to. The people have spoken.
The people have spoken. So that one's coming out. That should be out hopefully by the end of this year, by December. It's like an ex-boyfriend's dad, like age gap kind of thing. Yeah. So again, short, just, not a whole lot of plot, but a little bit of plot.
I love that. Love everything you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everything you're saying sounds delicious.
It's delicious. And then next year we'll have a couple more hockey books. We have the last book in the Love Through a Lens series. And then we're going to take a trip out west to Colorado and do some things out there with a flight attendant and a trail guide. So in a small town.
Old fantasy. Yep. I don't know. Maybe no.
Yeah. Right. Then fantasy. Then she'll start writing fantasy. Yeah.
You have everything. You like.
I could never do I'm like look at my board here, and I have like the roster over here because I'm just so I like can keep track of like who's who and everything. and it's like their book, their number, like what their position is. I'm like, I can't imagine being a fantasy author and like
No.
having like this whole world. Like I couldn't even keep the field straight that I named in the football, my football series. I messed up the field name, and I'm like, whoops. Like one of my readers messages, she goes, isn't it supposed to be this? I'm like, yeah, it is. Thanks. So I had to like it after already published. I'm like, whatever, it's fine. So like, I can't imagine keeping worlds and characters and like magical powers. I have so much respect for fantasy authors.
Well, names change. It gets new. Yeah.
True.
Things happen.
Our Lumen field, like, I mean, that's just changed recently. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
My 400-page romance novels where everyone falls in love.
Yeah.
That is where I'm best suited.
No, it's perfect. I'm just saying, you have so much. I love how you bounce around the contemporary genre. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to limit myself.
Yeah. And honestly, this is a job, but like when I first started writing, I feel like I wrote the stories that like I thought I had to write, and now I'm writing the stories that I want to write versus like, what I feel like people would like. So I was like, nope, I'm going to write a female hockey player. And if people don't like it, they can suck it. Honestly.
Right.
Love that.
Exactly.
That's what I wanted to write. And I'm very much in the, okay, well, I am really vibing with the cowboy romance. So I'm going to write a cowboy romance. And
right. And that's just it. I think it's really important for you to write what you want to read, as much as what like your audience is like asking you for. If you're not happy writing the things that you're writing, then it's just going to translate in the work. So I think if you switch it up tomorrow and you decide, you know what, I'm going to go on a serial killer binge. Like, I'm supporting it. I'm reading all of the books. Like,
yes,
that's just what it's going to do. Whatever you do.
I've been working on something for a couple years, and I've like kind of teased it, and like I have teased it more being hurricane season, but I'm writing something that is very
the weather people.
Yeah, that's very So I can't say anything else, but I
can't wait for them, and that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I can't wait for them.
I'm very excited about that one because that is very like near and dear to my heart. So yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've been wondering about them, but yeah, okay. So put that on the back burner, remembering that for later. Good to know.
Yeah.
Are there any audiobooks on the back burner with that said? Because and I was going to ask this, and then I actually saw a comment that you had on, because I'm part of your Facebook group, that maybe it has something to do with rights and stuff like that. But I was just wondering if like you hope to do more audiobooks, especially as this new series takes off.
So I don't listen to audiobooks because of my brain, but I am a full supporter of audiobooks, and I love that is a resource for people to read books through audiobooks. So my first two books, Unexpected Paradise and Companion Project, are on audio, and then my Love Through a Lens series is all going to be on audio. The Face Off series, I was approached about rights for the audio, but we're holding off on that for a little bit. But hopefully we can, hopefully one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah, that made me very happy to hear my Maverick anemone brought to life.
Oh my goodness. He's so hot.
I can't, right? Can you imagine?
I already know who Dev would want to play, but like play a Maverick, but that's no surprise.
Who?
I don't even have to. You talked about it last episode, Dev. You're obsessed with him.
I am obsessed with Jacob Morgan / Zachary Weber.
See, I don't know who any narrators.
He goes by two different names.
So his name is Zachary Weber.
I almost exclusively listen to audiobooks because I have a 2.5-year-old.
Yeah.
And that's how I stay sane. Like I have one headphone in, and it's like I have an adult talking to me while I'm playing a tea party. Like, correct. I mean, it's so that's where
I will say, since I don't listen to a lot of audiobooks, so my first two books, I didn't get a say in the narrator process, and and then a different company has the rights to the other. I keep looking over here because this is where my books are. I'm not just like pointing to a wall. Somewhere over here, a different company has the rights to the Love Through a Lens series, and so they sent me samples of narrators, and then I sent it to my friends who are big audiobook people. I'm like, can y'all tell me like what and they're like, oh, well, this person's pacing is really good. And, so I was like, thank you. And so it was good to like get their feedback on like what would be good to listen for.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
No, I love Zachary Weber / Jacob Morgan.
His voice. You don't know him personally, but you love his voice.
Right. I know. Sorry.
I love him.
I'm not
like,
objectifying you. I love it. I love his pacing. I love the way he like just talks. I don't know. I feel like he would be a very good Maverick. So, Zachary Weber / Jacob Morgan, if you're listening, hit Chelsea up, babe.
If
Maverick needs you
when it's time. We'll see it's time.
Hopefully one day.
Yeah. That's just so cute. Maverick.
Well,
I don't know what he was.
Look at the time.
She's getting ready.
Oh, what time is it?
It's time for this or that.
Yeah. Darn it, we always do that. We bury the lead.
I'm ready.
Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't.
Sometimes we don't. Okay.
That was really good.
I hope so. I was really trying to be very delicate with it, very demure.
It was great. It was great.
She practiced a lot earlier, so she should.
All right.
Okay, hit me.
Are you ready, Chelsea?
I'm ready.
You can't think too long. You just got to answer.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm nervous. Okay, I'm ready.
Contemporary or fantasy?
Contemporary.
Okay. One bed or Who Did This to You?
Ooh. I'm gonna say One Bed because I feel like Who Did This to You is really good in like the fantasy realm.
Okay.
Like, cause then they can like pull out a dagger and be like, who did this to you? And like, hard to do that in like contemporary. I mean, I can, but
you can. Different kind of book. Yeah,
different kind of book. I do love because I love forced proximity and like only one bed. You're like, oh, well, I'll just sleep over here and I'll put a pillow for her. And then like you're like, oh, we wake up and the arms are around me and
Where's
how did that happen?
Yeah.
So one bed, yeah. But I do like Who Did This to You, especially when it's like the grumpy guy and they're like, who did this to you? Like that.
Right. Yeah. It's giving Liam, actually. You might be able to do Who Did This to You with Liam.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, well, I feel like this next one is, we already know. Audio, audio or physical?
Physical, but I do love and support audiobooks, and they do count as reading, so.
Yes. All right, Jordan, you want to do the rest?
Sure. Small town or sports romance?
Sports romance.
Standalone or series?
Interconnected series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paperback or hardcover?
Paperback.
Second chance or friends to lovers?
Friends to lovers.
When you're drinking, or not when you're drinking, excuse me. When you're reading.
Or when you're drinking.
Or when you're drinking. I mean, it involves that too. When you're reading.
Now I'm really curious.
Hot or iced beverages for your snacks?
For my snacks?
Like while you're reading, like
for your
while
snacks.
Like,
what?
No. I need to enunciate more tonight is what I'm getting out of this.
Okay, so hot beverage or cold beverage while I am enjoying my book.
Yeah, while you're reading. Hot or iced?
Cold. I don't drink coffee. I am a water girl, so just water.
I don't mind Deb. She's just crying.
Sorry, that was so good.
She's got the giggles.
Oh my god. Okay.
Discrete cover or cartoon?
Oh boy, this is the controversial topic of the year. Do not even get me started on this. I love there has been drama on threads about this.
Just
and
too
much drama.
I'm like, do these look like kids to you? Like, what about this, like a young adult book on the back when it says after a night where the tension between them reaches a tipping point and they fall in bed? They're not studying.
And also, who's letting the little kids in the romance section? So I just
I
am an equal lover of covers. I do love, and I went through this debate because people are very, very passionate about this, which I very much respect. And I'm like, I went with the cartoon cover because I felt like it was in line with the other hockey, like Icebreaker, Stephanie Archer, Collide, that sort of thing. But I did want to do like a discreet cover for people who don't like cartoon covers. And I will say for some of my next series, I'm not going to do cartoon covers because I feel like it aligns more with like that as well, if that makes sense. So I like both. Like I have plenty of all of them back here and around here. And I like how when I did like this series, like it's illustrated, but like not people. Like I kind of like that aspect of it a little bit. But I like both. And if I had to pick one, I would probably pick illustrated.
Okay.
Yep.
I feel that. And I would not get mad that it was a book that had sex because I would do my research before picking it up. So.
Yeah, you'd be a responsible reader.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Read responsibly, folks.
Yeah. Okay. And the last one, the most important, you have to quickly name your top 3 book boyfriends.
Mine?
Like your personal, like not necessarily that you wrote. I mean, it can be that you wrote if those are your favorite. Or it can be like ones that you've read, just like
I'm going to do both. I'm going to say the ones I've written. Maverick is number 1. I think Liam is number 2.
Oh.
And I do love Dallas. I think Dallas might be number 3. Oh, but I do love Sean. I do like Sean because I did like doing that Friends to Lovers. So they're a tie. Yeah. They're a tie there. They're a tie.
Yeah. Okay.
Overall, now let me take a look here in my shelf. Just so
you have a beautiful shelf behind you. Too. Right? I can imagine what else there is.
There's more.
Yeah, no, I love it. I'm obsessed.
I don't remember who I was talking to. I think I was talking to Stacy, and then we got on the conversation of like UK covers because I'm a flight attendant, so I fly to London all the time. So I'm like, oh, you mean these UK covers? And I'm like, pulling out all my UK. I'm like, oh, my Emily Henry from Waterstones, those over there.
They're so much better looking in UK.
Always.
Okay. Oh, always. Okay, top three. Oh boy. All right. This is a lot of pressure. What books have I read? I don't know.
It's almost worse when you have visuals because then you get like, but that one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say Jack from Love, Theoretically, by Allie Hazelwood.
Okay.
I'm going to say what else am I going to say? I'm going to say something else.
I love it.
I do like Jax from Once Upon a Broken Heart series.
Okay.
I like.
I remember Jax you said I should read that. Yeah.
And then there's got to be an Emily Henry boyfriend that I love.
Oh, yeah, I know my Hem boyfriend that I love.
I do like Alex from People We Meet on Vacation. I liked him.
That one.
I also liked Theo from You with a View by Jessica Joyce.
I loved Theo.
Yeah, liked him a lot.
Yeah.
And have I read any other books in my lifetime? I don't know if I have.
Did they all leave my brain? They all left my brain. Yeah. No, you're good. You got 4.
That was great.
Yeah, that was 4. That was plenty. But now I'm like, oh gosh, what else would I add? Then I look at these books and I'm like, I have a lot of books I need to read because I haven't read half of these. And I'm never going to get to them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point. We're readers. We collect books, okay? That's the point.
My Beach Read special edition came today. I'm like, let me add it to my shelf. It's never going to be open, but at least it's pretty.
You have it in there.
On the shelf. And like my whole Elsie Silver shelf. I'm like, what am I doing with all these books? I'm like, I've read them all, but they look pretty.
I love that. So, they look so
gorgeous.
Pretty.
Yeah. That's the whole point.
I'm trying to see all the books.
This is why people don't need wallpaper anymore. They're just books.
Bookshelves.
That's all I want. Yeah.
Yeah, then I'm like, but it's hard to read while I write because then I just am like, half of me, I'm like, oh my God, I can never write like this person. And then the other half, I'm like, wait, I really like that idea. And so it's like, I'm like, what can I can't read. So
yeah, that's fair.
So it's a tough balance.
Yeah, I feel that. I guess this is like pretty interesting as well. Cause I mean, you threw out some book boyfriends, but given the few books you've read, what has been your favorite book to read this year?
Oh, okay. I did like The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. Loved that.
Oh, I haven't read that one yet.
It was very good. Second Chance, which I think is difficult to do. And it was very good. I did like Not in Love. I love Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood. I love everything Allie writes. So that is 10 out of 10 from me. What else have I read this year? I liked Caught Up by Liz Tomford.
Oh,
All of Elsie Silver this year.
Elsie.
I read Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. Liked
that one
a
was
lot.
so good.
I still need to read Pucking Around, and I know I'm way behind with that, but I need to read Pucking Around. I read the novella, and I'm like, I just need to read the 800-page.
The novella was
Is that the one
so
I just
good.
read?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I just listened to that one. But what threw me off is because I was trying to listen to his audiobook because, again, mom life, and I was trying to like balance. But that second one, or the first one, whatever, the audiobook is 25 hours. And I jumped out my skin. I was like, why is it that long?
Well,
but eventually I'll need to read
the book is 800 pages.
It's huge.
I have never seen the physical book. So
I
don't
soft
know.
DNF'd it. So I started it, but I soft DNF'd because I had other things
There's
I had to read.
no way.
I just haven't gotten back to it yet. Yeah, it's huge.
There's no way.
Bible. Wait, hold on.
So yeah,
but
I'll
it
have
is
to get to that.
So yeah, I like the comparison.
But like, I know, but like, how much do you have to say about hockey for the book to be that thick?
It's not a lot about hockey, Dev. It's
about their relationship.
There are 3 dicks in that one.
Yeah, okay. I gotta read it. I need to read it.
Wait a minute. Is it White Shoes?
Yeah. Didn't I tell you about that? Didn't I?
I don't know if I remembered that.
It's Polly.
Yeah.
It's Polly.
I'm
gonna read that.
I've been needing to read this, and I need to do it because why not?
Right. Exactly. Why?
Why not?
There was a scene in there that I hadn't read yet in books, and I had to I put it down for a moment, and I go, I need to think about this for a second and see how I feel. I'm not sure.
Oh, well, now I really need to read it.
Yeah, it's ready to borrow on my Libby, so I might do that.
I'm pretty committed to this book at this point, so I'm going to keep going, but I'm going to have to think about that for a few days.
Self-reflection.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I can't wait till I get there. I'm going to talk to you about that.
Yeah, you will.
Cool.
Let's see, what else? Right. What other books have I read this year and loved? I feel like that's. I mean, I've read other books. I just, of course, now I can't think of them, so they've already gone out of my head.
That's all right. I know the feeling.
The ones I have read, I've really really liked. So, but I'm easy to please. I'm very much. This was great. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not very stringent with my 4 or 5 stars. I'm like, everyone gets 5 stars. Hooray.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, why are you not giving my book 5 stars?
Because
I'm like,
everybody go give Chelsea's books 5 stars right now. No, everybody's going to run to go give you 5 stars right now.
Yeah, on Goodreads right this
It's
second.
well deserved.
That's but yeah, and I feel like writing, I'm always I want to write good book boyfriends, and I feel like I've done a lot of things with Maverick. I'm so now with Liam, I'm but how do I make him better? And I'm how do I? So I've gotten to this part where I'm because I like to write my men that are just down bad and will bend over backwards,
Yeah,
and
we love a Chelsea simp.
I've already done these things, so I don't know how I do them again. But I think I've done some new things in Power Play that I haven't done before. So I'm excited about that.
Well, we're excited to
Chelsea,
read it.
Yeah, let me be real with you. Liam can stand in a corner for the first 300 pages of this book just staring, and I promise you I'll be down bad for him.
And you'll be down bad, yeah.
I'll be down, yep. He could just stand there. But
I will, I've teased this before, but I will say, I think my favorite scene is because it's a marriage of convenience, fake dating turned marriage of convenience. It works kind of, is when he loses his wedding ring that he ties to his skate that disappears during a game, and the whole team helps him try to find it when they go back on the ice, and they're all on their hands and knees. And
Oh,
Piper
and
doesn't
that
know
team
he
is
wears it on his skates. And so she's interviewing him afterwards, and she's like, can you explain what you all were doing crawling around on the ice? And he's like, well, I lost something. And she's like, must have been pretty important. He goes, most important thing in the world to me, something like that. Yeah. So stick a knife in me.
Liam.
Oh, I can't wait for him. I can't wait for him. I can't wait
I know. Me too.
It's a little down bad grump for
Yeah.
everyone but her.
Well, I don't want to keep you too long. We'll just do one more question for you that kind of goes with what you're talking about, your next, what you've been writing, working on. Do you have any big milestone goals for your writing career that you really are aiming for, or that once you hit that point, or what you want to do with that?
I still don't fully believe that like people read my books, and like I don't mean that in like the oh, my writing sucks kind of way. Just like because like I'm not on Goodreads, and like some authors check their page reads and everything daily, and like I will like after a release, and then after that, like I haven't checked my page reads in like 2 weeks, and I'm like, whatever, and so like I forget that people read my books and like keep reading my books. And when Goodreads, when Face Off passed 10,000 reviews on Goodreads, I was just like, oh my God, like that's a lot. It's not a lot to some people, but like that's a lot. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
It's up to 11,000 now.
I know. I saw that. I was like, oh, and it's like my highest rated one, not to like toot my own horn, but I'm very proud of that. And I think that shows my growth as a writer too, which is what I always want. You always want to be getting better. So I'm proud of that too. But I would love to go into a bookstore. So this is really cheesy, but like I said, I'm a flight attendant and I mostly fly London. And when I go to London, I do London once a week, twice a week. I have a routine. I take a nap at the hotel. I walk to Waterstones in Piccadilly. I write in the cafe, and then I go up to the romance section. And I always look at the romance table because it's a very good section. Like it's like really nice. And I look at the table and I say, your book will be here one day. And I say that every time I go there. And now I'm like getting all emotional about this, but, and I'm like, it will be there one day. And, it's being an author it's hard in the sense of like, you see things happening for other people and you're like, is it going to happen for me? Or like, why isn't it happening for me? And, so it's hard to be patient, and it's hard to be, like stay in your lane kind of, even though there's only so much you can control. So I would love for my books to be in a bookstore. I mean, they are in some bookstores, but I mean like all bookstores, I'd like to walk into like a random Barnes and Noble in like Albuquerque and see it. There are a couple bookstores like the Barnes and Noble in Myrtle Beach has all my books in there. If you go to Myrtle Beach, they are phenomenal. They have so many indie books. And they're wonderful. I did a signing there. They're great people. So plug for Barnes and Noble in Myrtle Beach. And so I'd love to see my books in bookstores. I would love to be traditionally published with some series one day. And I would love to hit top 100 in the Kindle store. And because that's like pretty impressive. And I've come very close. I've come to 123. So I would love to crack the top 100. I think that would be fun. And honestly, just keep writing books people like and enjoy. I have considered writing full time, but I do like my job as a flight attendant. So, and it's nice to have like a sure thing, because I feel like I like writing so much because I don't have to write it. Like I don't have to put anything else out next year if I don't want to.
Right.
And so I think it keeps it, fun that I have this other life where I work and then on my layover I write, that sort of thing. So it kind of separates it a little bit. So maybe write full time. Maybe I don't know. I kind of like having the separation of my two halves of me. But yeah, keep putting out things that people enjoy and people like to read. And yeah, we'll see what happens. It's been a very fun journey, and I always say like it's only going to get better, but I truly think it's just kind of like starting. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's just starting.
Yeah, but I feel very grateful for the fact that people like I went to my first like big signing at Romance Con, and I was like blown away by people who came to hear me talk in the panel about sports romance, and then came to my table after. And like, I know, like I see people buying my book and I know people interact with me on social media, but it's just different, like to see like people holding my book in real life, that these people are reading it. And it's a little mind blowing, but I feel very grateful.
Oh,
well, we're grateful for the stories you've put out so far. I mean, I'm blown away. I could sit here and talk to you for so much longer about the different ways that I love your books.
I love the app,
especially about the women and how the men are always support the women in such an empowering way. That comes through in all of your books, and it's so amazing to read. So thank you.
And with sports romance, like we see a lot of books where the guy is the athlete, and I love that. But I also think in the last couple of years with, the rise in like WNBA with like Caitlin Clark and Reese and like, especially the WNBA, and now with like the Olympics with like the track and field women and all these women who are in the spotlight, and now like rugby and we're seeing all these women that are finally getting the attention that they deserve. And so writing a female athlete that was like on that level, and like I knew I had it like, and that's why in the author's note I'm like, I'm well aware this is fiction. Like, there's not a woman in the NFL. I'm well aware of that. However, there has been once upon a time, and there could be again. There's been female kickers on college football teams, and Candy Steiner wrote a book with a female kicker, and
so good.
Yeah, loved it. Loved that series. And I think we're finally seeing the attention that women deserve on them. And with that, we're also seeing the men in their, counterpart league supporting them too. And, I think of like Kobe Bryant, who was a big proponent of women's sports and unfortunately passed away. And I'm like, I wonder what he would think if he could see, because he was really kind of, I feel like the first, especially NBA player that really was like at the WNBA games, that's, supporting them.
Very
and
vocal.
Now you have celebrities like Jason Sudeikis, and, I wear my shirt, like everyone watches women's sports and people are like, oh my God, I love your shirt. And it's like, that's not how it was 10 years ago. And as someone who like has always loved sports, has always watched basketball and interacted on social media, and anytime there's been a post about women or female athletes, or I've commented on a post about anything, it's get back to the kitchen. What are you doing? They don't belong here, blah, blah, blah. And I think we've finally turned that corner, and I would love to see more of that in romance books, because women deserve to have that stage too, and yeah. So, I mean, I could talk about that for literally hours.
No, me too. But you've had a really long couple days. Almost full 24 hours.
Yeah.
So we won't keep you much longer. Is there anything else you wanted that you didn't get a chance to mention, or
you're like, what else is she going to spill?
I know.
I'm
like, I love the crumbs. I live for the crumbs.
The final scary. I don't have anything good. I will say in the hockey series, because everyone asked me, Liam is next. It's coming out in October. Hudson will be after that. And then who's after that? Lexi's after that. And then Coach will be book 5.
Yeah, I can't wait for
Coach.
I can't wait for Coach. Yeah, I'm very interested.
Open in the books because I'm very excited about Piper and Liam. It's tropes I've never written before, and I'm excited for people to read them. And it's it's fun, and it's a good time, and it's sexy and fun, and
right.
So I'm excited about that.
That's
one.
We want our books.
Everything else.
Well, you'll be hearing from us. I'm sure definitely hearing from Dev once she gets her hands on that one.
Also, Dev, I would like to say that Dev was one of the first people. I will say I wasn't big on TikTok, like me, like going on TikTok. I wasn't really big on TikTok until like the last couple months, and then I'm like, oh, this actually helps me make money as an author by like posting my books.
Right.
Like I had an author, like I had a TikTok account, but I really didn't do anything with it. But Dev posted a video about Unexpected Paradise. I remember I was in Sanibel with my family because we have a timeshare down there for a week-long trip. And I remember I was going into Publix, and I got tagged in the video. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, and I sent it to my group of friends. I go, guys, this person on TikTok was talking about my book.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, this is so cool. I'm like, oh my God, Chelsea, that's amazing. I still remember that.
I know, I love it. That was like my beginning, my entry into the world of Chelsea Curto. But it's like one of my favorite experiences too. Since the beginning, yeah. And I've just watched you keep growing. I'm just like so proud of you, truly. But yeah, I'm here, ride or die.
Right,
yeah, exactly.
That's what I love.
Yeah. She's bringing.
I will show. I will
It's so
do something secretive. Hold on. Are people? Can people see or just hear?
We sometimes we can clip sometimes, but it's just like that's just choice things for socials. They usually just hear. But
okay, well, I'm going to show something.
Okay,
so this will be a clip. Okay.
This is secret, so you can only
show this.
No showing.
Oh, we won't show this. This is just for our eyes.
Well, maybe. Oh, okay. Woo! Maybe. So this is not the finished one, and I showed the sketch in the Facebook group.
Yeah.
This is the cover color that we're going with for Power Play. Can you see it? Hold on. It's really bright. I can't
see it. What's happening?
Devin's gonna crawl through. Devin's gonna crawl through the screen right now.
On. And this is the. Hold on,
Chelsea. Please figure it out. Figure it out.
Knock that, Chelsea. Come on. 2 seconds. Wait.
This is crazy.
Dev has a heart attack.
My heart is beating. So yeah, can you imagine? My Apple Watch is about to warn me of like AFib or something.
Well, now I'm like, which of these fits the? Because of course my I wonder if I turn the brightness down. Hold on, maybe that will help.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Or if you tap it.
Or sometimes if you like hold it.
Okay.
See the color?
Oh.
No, I can't see the color. Oh, interesting.
Oh, it's so cute. Yeah, I saw the sketch and it looks good.
That's going to look so good next to Face Off, though. Like,
I mean, just like imagine here. I'll put mine up here so you can see it next to
No, it's going to look so good.
Yeah.
So we
I love these.
Yeah, we have a little fun little pop of color there.
I love that.
Yeah.
Suckers, you guys didn't get to see it.
And you always have such great, like, your character art is so good.
Oh, I love character. I will literally pay $1,000 for character art.
My daughter
I like
saw that.
It's good. Readers like it. It gets good engagement on Instagram,
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So my daughter saw them and because the package had just come and I was opening them up and she's 2.5. And she goes, "Oh, Mama, who's that?" And I was like, "Oh, this is Emmy and Maverick." And I like scroll to the back, like look at the back. I'm like, "Okay, there's a sticky note over it," but I'm like, "I'm gonna take this one out. You don't get that one."
Like, keep that one far away.
Yeah.
This is one of Piper and Liam.
Oh, stop! I will freak out. Stop, Chuck.
Oh,
Liam, Daddy, Goalie Daddy, is that you?
Oh, shit. That's so good.
I am biting at the bars of my enclosure right now.
Yeah, they're
Is that the woman over his shoulder?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, sorry.
And you get to see his shoulders. Look at the shoulders, man.
And the back.
That's a tattoo. That's a tattoo.
Wow.
Little hockey player.
Oh, listeners, don't you wish this was a YouTube channel?
You're right. You're just gonna have to wait until Power Play comes out.
I love character art. I've like character art for like 8 books down the line. I'm like, this book won't come out until 2026, but we're gonna go ahead and just do some character art right now. So
yeah, I love it. I love that.
Why not?
I love the style of them too. They're
the people that do, they're all so talented. And I remember someone was like, "Did you draw these?" I'm like, "No." Absolutely not.
Someone can only be so talented in so many things.
Right. There's only so many things that we can be super skilled in.
What I admire about them is I'm like, this is what this is what I'm envisioning. And they're like, "Oh, like this?" And I'm like, that's literally what is happening in my brain.
Exactly that.
I would have drawn a stick figure. So
yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you for that sneak peek.
Little parting
Thank you.
The goodbye present.
Yeah.
And Chelsea, do you want to drop your socials real quick?
Oh, yes. Where am I? Instagram at author Chelsea Curto. Threads is the same. And I think my TikTok is at Chelsea Reads and Writes. I have two. I have one that is managed by somebody else. So that one is author Chelsea Curto. And I think the one I manage is at Chelsea Reads and Writes, as I'm looking on my Tiki right now. Yes, Chelsea Reads and Writes. That's me.
Perfect.
That is me.
Thank you. Well, thanks everyone for listening to us ramble with Chelsea Curto. If you're looking for more romance recs or more interviews in the future, because we do have some lined up, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Romance Recs Pod. Also, you can find us over on our Discord server, Romance Recs. You can find our favorite book recs from our episodes, as well as behind the scenes content, again, at Romance Recs Pod. So make sure to give us a follow, and we'll be back in a week or two, depending on when this comes out, with another episode.
Thanks,
Give Chelsea a follow, guys. Thanks for having us. Thanks for being
Thanks for being here.